Hello, this is TGC Requiem. I am playing some green-red Tron today. It's the new one I'm getting into. It is slightly budget, as these Karplusan Forest, which are pain lands, should be Grove of the Burn Willows, which instead of doing 1 damage to me would give 1 life to my opponent. So it is slightly budget, but it will over time get upgraded here. Definitely a style of deck I like, and something I'm excited to learn to play better. And so that is what I am going to be doing here today. Basically, the deck is Urza's Mine, Urza's Power Plant, Urza's Tower. If you get all 3 of these lands on the battlefield, Urza's Mine's tapped for 2 mana instead of 1, Plant's tapped for 2 mana instead of 1, Tower's tapped for 3 mana. So the goal is, theoretically most games, turn 3 card liberated. Sometimes turn 4 Ugin, or a turn 3 Wormcoil Engine. So, I mean, you have several super powerful plays, and the big problem the deck tends to have is aggro decks, which is why there are 3 Pyroclasm, 3 Oblivion Stone in the main, more Pyroclasm in the side. So that's kind of what we're looking at. They run a lot of cards like Chromatic Sphere, Chromatic Star, to filter the mana, because they run a lot of colorless mana in this deck, to basically cast your Ancient Stirrings, Sylvan Scryings, or Pyroclasms. Chromatic Spheres and Chromatic Stars are cantrips as well, and so essentially they're free to cast once you play them. And they allow you to play cards like Ancient Stirrings, which is also almost always a cantrip, with some choice, because you get to filter through 5 cards and choose the best colorless one. And then Sylvan Scrying is another card that cantrips let you reveal a card. So most of the time you're searching up for the 3rd piece of Tron with those. Expedition Map's another one where you can pay 1, you sacrifice the map to go find a land card, reveal it, put in your hand. And again, typically the point there is you're going to get another piece of Tron. Every once in a while you need something like Eye of Ugin, because Eye of Ugin lets you search up your Wormcoil Engines or your Emrakul, and maybe a Ghost Quarter on occasion is relevant, or the Llanowar Waste. Now we're running a 1 of Llanowar Waste to give us extra access to black. And again, it sounds like, well, it's a 1 of, but again, you have Sylvan Scrying, you have Expedition Map, you have these cantrips to potentially find it, and find it fairly fast. And the big piece is this is for Slaughter Games out of the sideboard. Slaughter Games can't be countered by spells or abilities. Name on non-land cards, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, or library for a number of cards with that name and exile them. So this is good against combo decks like Splinter Twin, because again, they cannot counter it. You can get rid of their twin and then fight a longer game against them. Again, this is basically to beat the other combo decks that this deck has trouble playing against. Torpor Orb also helps against that deck, Splinter Twin and Rending Volley, and that's not all just for those decks, but Torpor Orb I'm putting in there. I don't know, there's a Curio, Evolutionary Leap, Cloudstone Curio Elves deck that's taken off on the SCG tournament this weekend, so I expect to see a spike in that play. But, I mean, that's kind of the generic breakdown of this. The deck's 3 biggest weaknesses, deck-wise, I guess, are going to be Infect, which is just really tough. You don't have a great matchup against Burn. Nature's Claim and Thragtusk can help with the life gain, but you know, it's far from any sort of guarantee. And I think it's Storm, like Storm and Splinter Twin, Amulet, those combo decks are not necessarily great. So we're going to jump in, play a game, see how it goes. I played with it a few times, probably less than 10 more than 5, less than 10 matches so far, so expect some mistakes. Warpath Demon. Alright, so opening hand, 1 piece of Tron. Ideally we'd like 2. We do have some cycling. We do have 2 lands in Expedition map. We do have Pyroclasm. This actually seems like a pretty good keep. In case we run into aggro, Pyroclasm will be huge, and we have the ability to turn it on, so... Grave Crawler. Alright. Emrakul. Probably not the card we want to see right yet, but it is what it is. Let's go with Star. Carplusa in the forest. Play Sylvan Scrying. And we will go get a tower. One ding at a time. What does this guy got going on? We're going to go ahead and play Chromatic Sphere. Actually, I meant to play Expedition map there. And we are going to go ahead and... Well, we got our mine, so it worked out anyway. Pyroclasm at this point. You can only cast this if he controls another one. Another zombie, so... This puts us in a good place now with Wormcoil. Next turn. Mono Black Devotion. Interesting. I was actually just talking about Phyrexian Obliterator today. I don't know what this guy is doing. Well, we're just going to go ahead and cast this guy. I think we're just going to go this route. And we don't need to rush into cracking this. This gives us access to colored mana if we need it later. And just hold on to it. And a concede. Well, I have no idea what that deck was trying to do. Sounds like he just drew into some bad stuff. Being that it's mono black devotion, I'm going to kind of go on the assumption that he's playing Great Merchant of Asphodel in Modern. I don't know. Graveyard can recast. I don't know. I feel like he's got to have some shenanigans going on there. We are going to bring in the Grafdigger's Cage and Relic just from what we've seen. Emrakul could be good. I would bring one Torpor Orb in. Let's not overdo it. Just trying to think through what he might be trying to do. Pack Rat. Yeah, Oblivion Stone. I don't want to get rid of Oblivion Stone. The fact that he didn't have much come in makes me think maybe he doesn't have enough early drops. Makes me want to kind of get rid of a Pyroclasm. Like he's going for a big, like a long game. We're going to cut a Sylvan Scrying. 2 Sylvan Scrying. Alright, let's see. It's tough. We're just making some basic, guesses. I think about the best cards in black, and I figure he's probably going for Phyrexian Obliterator. So this is a keep. We're pretty much set up with a turn 4 Tron, which is also Uginable. So we're going to go Urza's Mine into Expedition Map. If he doesn't do anything with 2 mana again. Dark Confidant. So I assumed Dark Confidant was going to be here. The 2 cards I was thinking at the 2-drop were Dark Confidant and Pack Rat. It just seems like they would make sense. I've kind of toyed with a mono black deck, but I never got more than like 40, 50 cards into it before I got distracted by something else and never finished it. So now we're on to a turn 3 Tron. So we're just going to go ahead and slam the tower and pass. Leyline of the Void, which really doesn't affect us. Just affects the graveyard, right? That's fine, I don't care. I don't play the graveyard. So, some interesting stuff here. While Tron doesn't get us Ugin next turn, the Chromatic Sphere is going to allow us to Sylvan Scry, which will be pretty nice. Ugin is a big board wipe. Alright, Geralf's Messenger enters the battlefield. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life. So definitely we want to go the route of Torpor Orbs in this. And at this point we're good to tap. And we need to get a power plant. He's swinging for 4/7 next turn. Oh yeah, look at all this. So we are going to go chromatic sphere, chromatic sphere. Go ahead and crack one of these. Looking for red. Crack one of these, looking for green. So we got a couple things here. We can Sylvan Scrying, which gets us more mana. Or we can Ancient Stirrings. I don't think mana's our issue. I think Ancient Stirrings, looking for Torpor Orb or Oblivion Stone would be good. And there's Torpor Orb. How about that? And pass turn. So we've shut off ETBs now, which will be interesting to see what he brings this next turn. Gravecrawler. Okay, this is gonna hurt. Ugin is going to exile his entire board state. For -3. And then we're going to follow this up with Karn Liberated, destroying. Such a powerful deck. Oh, no, we're fine. So, sorry. We actually, and I did that wrong, but it's fine. I was going to destroy the Phyrexian Arena, but we actually want to get him out of cards at this point. This game is on lockdown. There's really nothing he can do. Black is really bad about destroying artifacts. It's not a part of their color wheel. Haste, he's got to go right at me. So just trying to think this through here. We definitely want Oblivion Stone down. We're going to -2. That way it can't come back. Make him discard a card. Play land for the turn. That's bizarre. Anyway. We're gonna go... And, sorry, so we need 5 to activate that. We're gonna play a Spellskite for 2. And basically, the position we're in right now is... we have him locked down. He can't haste attack through the Spellskite. He can't get any ETB triggers. So, Torpor Orb, the right call. So this is going to seem bizarre, but at this point, restart the game, leaving in exile all non-aura permanent cards exiled to Karn liberated. Then put those cards on the battlefield under your control. Unfortunately, all we got was Inquisition and Leyline. So, in this case, we are just going to exile the Merchant. We will uptick for 3. We will cast this guy. Let him do a little more damage to himself. It's really confusing. I don't know why MTGO puts all of the exiled cards under Yugen under him. Karn Liberated is the one that it's relevant for. I feel like somebody knows the deck who wrote the coding and then screwed up and put the wrong thing. Enchanted Land is a swamp. This is not a big deal because we can Sylvan Scrying into another one, and frankly, we already have the board position we need. So I don't know if he was trying to activate. Okay, Whip of Erebos. He's got some devotion now, 4 or 5 devotion. Again, he can't ETB though. So we're going to make him exile another card. Gray Merchant. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as I can tell. I don't even feel like casting these. I feel like if we get down to 2, he might have Sign in Blood and could do 2 damage to us. So we're just going to hold off, keep fighting. This board is weird. And that's the win. Green Red Tron. Very, very powerful.